Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings broke world records for the first Asian-led superhero film under Marvel, and rightfully so. Seeing how successful Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings are, it didn't take long for a sequel to be greenlit. For today's episode, we'll be talking about how Shang-Chi's Simu Liu reacts to Marvel sequel news. All this and more in today's episode, so keep watching to know more. Firstly, Shang-Chi actor Simu Liu relieved but not surprised at movie sequel announcement. It didn't come as a surprise for lead actor Simu Liu that his latest movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, will be getting a second movie, as it should, seeing how it broke the record for the biggest Labor Day weekend opening since the 2007 remake of the horror thriller film Halloween. Speaking to Phase Zero, comicbook.com's Marvel podcast, Liu already saw this coming way ahead of its confirmation. I guess I wasn't the most surprised given everything that had happened, but I'm so relieved to hear that Destin Daniel Cretton was confirmed to come back, Liu told Phase Zero during his guesting. Again, not a surprise, but it's just so good to feel the engine turning and to be like, great, we get to tell more story and delve deeper into the characters and hopefully provide more of those badass fight sequences. Seeing how we're still stuck in the pandemic, though in a better condition, its theatrical release grossed over $70 million in its first week, a little short of Black Widow, which opened at $80 million, which is still an impressive feat seeing how it became the first Asian-led superhero movie under Marvel Cinematic Universe and became the highest-grossing film of 2021 at one point. Liu, of course, credits the film director Destin Daniel Cretton for Shang-Chi's success, and it looks like the film director will be pretty busy soon, seeing how he just inked a multi-year deal with Marvel Studios and Hulu's Onyx Collective to write and direct Shang-Chi 2, as well as lead an unspecified Disney Plus Marvel series. Although the plot of Shang-Chi 2 isn't set in stone, several ideas are hinting at what could happen next from several questions raised at the end of the film, especially the open-ended scenes. Simu Liu had a catchy clapback at Shang-Chi's critics announcing the movie sequel. Simu Liu is known for being pretty active on social media, especially on his Twitter account, where he shares a lot of his thoughts openly in a witty manner, much to the delight of his fans. So it's only natural that the 32-year-old actor dragged Shang-Chi's critics in his own way when they announced the sequel, as well as Cretton's multi-year deal with Marvel. "Flopped so hard, we got a sequel," wrote Liu in his caption as he retweeted an article announcing Shang-Chi's sequel in the works, published by Variety. That wasn't the only time the actor poked fun at the critics since the film's initial release. He was already at it with the keyboard warriors. One memorable tweet he shared is a stock photo of him with two other models pointing at the laptop screen, laughing along with the caption, "Me laughing at the people who thought we'd flop." It's refreshing to see the actor defend the movie, albeit online, seeing how there's so much Asian representation and cultural heritage displayed in the movie, so his witty comebacks were also part of his charm. But he's not always bearing his fangs for the haters. He also knows how to be fun and even makes himself the butt of the joke. An example of this is when he shared a review rating of Shang-Chi while poking fun about tiger parenting. Rotten Tomatoes gave Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings an 86% rating on their website, and Liu jokingly took it to Twitter while he thought of his parents' disapproval. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes? What happened to the other 14? "My parents, probably," he wrote, which most of his followers immediately related to, and even shared some of their own. His lighthearted comment about tiger parenting, wherein Asian parents stress the importance of education with disregard for a child's social development, is a topic relatable to all Asian households, which made the joke funnier. So what's next for Shang-Chi? As stated earlier, a few ideas are still being tossed around the table regarding the sequel's plot, but for sure, some questions need to be answered sometime in the future. These questions were something that popped up in the post-credit scenes in the show, while some we thought as the movie progressed. So what are the Ten Rings? Near the end of the movie, we see Wong make a sudden appearance while Katie and Shang-Chi just finish relating their story to their friends, and the next thing we see is Wong inspecting the Ten Rings in front of Carol Danvers and Bruce Banner, trying to ID what the rings are and why it's emitting a beacon, but to who and where to, we still don't know. But from what the two Avengers said, it seems that the Ten Rings is some type of artifact from an ancient alien civilization. Shang-Chi also discloses that his father, Wen-Wu, has owned the ring for 1,000 years, therefore prolonging his life. What else could these rings do, and where is the full extent of their powers? What's going to happen to the Ten Rings group with Xu Zheling in the lead? Upon Wen-Wu's death, Katie and Shang-Chi went back to LA, and Xu Zheling returned to address their late father's business, with Shang-Chi thinking that her younger sister will abolish the Ten Rings group for good. But the businesswoman that she knows better, we see at the end how she knows leads the group. What else is in store for Xu Zheling as the leader of the Ten Rings? What plans does she have in store as a leader? Will Abomination play an important role in the next film? Probably one of the unexpected faces we saw in Shang-Chi is Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination, who took part in Xu Zheling's caged fights. Working in tandem with Wong, what caught us by surprise is how he's now sporting a worse mutation with gills and webbed ears. Last we heard, the character will also be making an appearance in Disney Plus's upcoming series She-Hulk, along with Tatiana Maslany, Downey in the lead role. What role will Wong, Bruce Banner, and Carol Danvers play in the sequel? The two Avengers' appearance in the mid-credit scene caught us all by surprise. Shang-Chi's involvement may run deeper than we thought, since Wong took the effort in reaching out to Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner in identifying the 10 rings. There's also the fact that Wong warned both Shang-Chi and Katie how their lives will never be the same and are bound to change soon, knowing how there's always some type of trouble happening either on Earth or in some farther regions of the universe that's somehow always tied to the Earth. And what will happen with the Hulk? Is he taking a back seat and Dr. Bruce Banner working as an advisor for the recruits, or will we see the big green machine at the first sight of battle? How will Katie and Shang-Chi's relationship develop later on? Not only did Shang-Chi become the first Asian-led superhero film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's also the first one where we see a platonic relationship between the main character and his friend, which was a welcome concept among fans. However, there were moments where some fans question if that's all there is to their relationship, seeing Katie's expression upon seeing a shirtless Shang-Chi. And there's also a deleted scene where Zhu Zheling teased her about her feelings towards our hero. Either way, we've got nothing but speculations for now, although Cretton explicitly said that the two are just best friends. Film director Destin Daniel Cretton shared an update in a recent interview with Collider about the sequel, wherein some details are being ironed out. "I've done zero," Cretton admitted. "It's a fun place to be right now. Everything's a possibility. We're just tossing very loose ideas around, and we'll start to hone in on something, hopefully." Still, Cretton had several ideas that he'd like to use that are tied to what happened in the first film, as well as deriving from the source material. There are things that we potentially want to explore in the future. Everything changes so much, so it's hard to say how many of those ideas will actually make it to the finish line, but there are many of them there. Impressive is an understatement of what Cretton brought to the MCU table, and of course we can't forget about everybody else, such as the cast and crew that made it all possible for Shang-Chi to break the box office records. Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige couldn't help but sing praises for the director upon signing the multi-year deal a few weeks ago. Destin is an amazing collaborator who brought a unique perspective and skill to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Feige said of Cretton. "We had a fantastic time working together on the film, and he has so many intriguing ideas for stories to bring to life on Disney+, so we're thrilled to expand our relationship with him and can't wait to get started." And that wraps up today's episode about Simu Liu's reaction to Shang-Chi's sequel, as well as all the details you need to know about the next film. What do you think will happen in the next movie? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching!